We had to threaten a lawsuit, Jesse. And by the way, we're still entertaining it. We're talking to some of the best lawyers out there that are experts in this. And as you know, these things can be very complicated. There's a lot of facts and circumstances around it. But we're not going to let this go, because you should not be able to smear 5,000 high school and college kids and then just be able to walk away with it.
This Turning Point conference, the were in the front of out there in front of the conference with anti-Semitic slurs, and you know, the cigar.
I think it's important that every single person that attended that Turning Point, every Republican speak up against these stickers, against the flags that were waved.
You let them in.
President, open your
You let them in and you knew what they were.
Right.
So you are complicit.
But Whoopi is certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought.
No, it's not your grandmother's tea party. Joe Rogan just delivered a nasty slam on the hosts of The View. Things went berserk after Charlie Kirk struck them with a $100 million lawsuit. You're wrong if you believe you've seen a drama. Once Joe gets going, there's no going back, so you must listen.
Charlie Kirk's the founder and CEO of Turning Point USA and the author of the new book, The College Scam. So, Charlie, do you accept The View's apology?
I mean, regardless of whether or not I accept it, the question is, do our students accept it? That's really what's at heart here. They went after our 5,000 students at our event there, of high school and college kids. And look, I get attacked all the time. People say false things. I'm a public figure. But when you go after 16 and 17-year-olds that travel from across the country, that then have to live for the rest of their life with a shadow over them because someone at ABC says that they might be linked to
Charlie Kirk chooses to take the legal route and sue The View hosts for $100 million when his name is spoken on daytime TV like a used tissue, and he has the money to call their bluff. It's not a misprint. You go nuclear instead of just sitting there sipping your chamomile tea.
The View has to be, you know, if you average out The View hosts, among the dumbest people on television. And so it's like they say the thing that people are thinking, but they say it very directly, so they expose whatever truth. But
I don't think some of them are dumb.
You don't think so?
No, I don't think Sunny Hostin's
You think it's
dumb.
deliberate?
I think she's ideologically driven, and they have blinders on, for sure. I don't think Sunny's dumb. But Whoopi is certainly not the brightest person. And what she just said just doesn't make any sense. It's just like so silly to say. It's not a well thought out. It's like if you had an idea for a premise and it was totally baked and half baked, and you went on stage with it and it's nothing.
Just
there.
go for it. Yeah,
there's nothing there. Sometimes comics do that.
The lawsuit is a warning wrapped in a multi-million-dollar price tag, not merely a tantrum. As if they were Oprah's freebie cars, The View apparently thought Charlie Kirk was open season and made charges against him. Even you are held accountable, but when Kirk yells foul, the whole thing devolves into a court circus.
Now we begin with a shocking apology just a short time ago from the ladies of The View to Turning Point USA. A war of words broke out after the conservative group was rallying the next generation of voters at its youth summit in Tampa, Florida this weekend. And the liberal panel just couldn't help themselves. The group sent a scathing cease and desist letter after hosts on The View suggested that Turning Point had embraced who showed up outside the event.
It's a $100 million miscommunication, but The View presenters are probably clutching their pearls and acting like it's all because of a misread tweet now that they're back to their regular daytime drama. A normal reality show conflict would appear like a playground argument about crayons in the face of such a lawsuit.
Do you see what Whoopi Goldberg said?
What'd she say?
Whoopi Goldberg said that Biden could arrest all the Republicans and put them in jail. You just need to see how unhinged this kind of thinking is. Well, you know what Joe Biden could do? Joe Biden, you have to see it, because it's so
on TV.
crazy.
She said
on television.
You know, just let's look at a scenario where the Supreme Court says, yes, he has that. He has all those rights. He is immune from everything.
Yeah.
You know what Joe Biden could do since he is presently president?
What?
Whoa. He could throw every Republican in jail.
Joe Rogan interrupts with his usual snark, making fun of The View hosts in a way that is both amusing and nasty, akin to a grizzly bear giving a TED talk on honey. Rogan exposes their double standards by delivering hard haymakers of truth as they act indignation as if it were a midday play. The irony that strikes the hardest is that they criticize others while avoiding responsibility for their own actions. Rogan's attacks are effective because he isn't playing their game.
Welcome back. You know, in Monday's conversation about Turning Point USA, I put the young people at the conference in the same category as the protesters outside. And I don't like it when people make assumptions about me. And it's not any better when I make assumptions about other people, which I did. So, my bad. I'm sorry.
Okay.
So,
Charlie Kirk's lawsuit, which is a $100 million mic drop seeking media responsibility, is more than simply a flex. Kirk uses his legal firepower to transform drama into a high-stakes show, while The View hosts trade in anger. The ridiculousness is accentuated by Joe Rogan's derisive remarks, which highlight how flimsy the moral superiority becomes when lawsuits are brought up. This altercation demonstrates how outrage, the media, and money now clash in courtrooms and is not just about ego.
The culture shift between right and left authoritarianism, and now people don't recognize that if you just stop looking at it in terms of red and blue, look at the actions, whether it's war, suppression of free speech, pharmacological interventions that are mandatory, whatever it is, that used to all be associated with the authoritative right, the authoritarian right, and now those things are being embraced by the left. And I just think it's just an ideology thing, and I think we get confused and we think we're on the right side, and if it's our side that's saying this, for sure that's the right thing to do, and no one's critically thinking about this.
Joe Rogan is the gateway drug for young men that thought they were Democrats to become MAGA. Joe Rogan is the bridge, and on that bridge they'll see RFK, they'll see Elon.
Under courthouse deadlines and legal pressure, The View hosts standard strategy. Outrage without repercussions is falling apart. Rogan's viral parody and Kirk's lawsuit reveal their selective anger, transforming their comfortable studio drama into an expensive reality check. Now, rather than their sound bites, the focus is on their quiet. Just the uncomfortable tension of being called out when it really matters, without any dramatic commercial cuts or witty comeback.
I think the problem with that show is that show has this very specific ideological bubble in which they operate in. You know, and they always bring on a token conservative woman, and they yell over her and silence her, and, you know, they did that with Meghan McCain, and they did that with what is that other blonde woman from Survivor? Do you remember her, Jamie? She was always yelling. I mean, it's a bizarre show.
This conflict between Charlie Kirk and The View is more than simply newsworthy. It's a window into the media landscape of today, when lawsuits are the new political grenades and fury is weaponized. Legal action is now a flex move louder than ratings in a polarized society that plays like a reality show. Only the wealthiest survive this multi-million-dollar show, which combines courtroom drama with indignation theater.
Megan, I get it. I also hate Joy Behar, so I don't love you, but I also hate that squawking bird, so I hate the whole thing. And frankly, that show, you want to talk about a show that set women back, is The View. You want to talk about that show, if the CIA is engineering, Antifa and fucking the Capitol riot, some crazy misogynist engineered The View, because there's nothing worse than The View. In terms of, like, there are so many brilliant women out there, none of them are on The View. None of them have gone near the set of The View. I mean, they have brought in the lowest tier of the, what is it, the Y chromosome?
No, double
X.
Okay. Double X.
They brought in the lowest of the double X's for that one. It's
Charlie Kirk's legal strike is a power maneuver in the struggle for public opinion, not just a show of fury. This story blurs the distinction between serious discourse and pure spectacle by combining legal thrillers, reality TV, and circus acts. Viewers are left wondering if this is news or just another episode in the never-ending soap opera of politics, media, and money, especially with lawsuits and Rogan's takedowns in the mix.
Disgusting, gross elitism and her complete out-of-touch nature with respect to the rest of the world. Sunny Hostin goes on The View and decides now would be a great time to dump all over the so-called uneducated.
What we did not have is white women who voted about 52%, right, for Donald Trump. Uneducated white women, is my understanding. You have Latino men, actually, voting more for him. And you have, and black men was not the story. We're not the story here, because they voted almost 80% for the vice president.
Right.
Just because you didn't go to college doesn't mean you're stupid, and it doesn't mean that you don't have wisdom. You can go to college and get a bunch of irrelevant facts about how men can allegedly give.
What will happen next in this carnival of media? Either a lengthy court battle that brings all the filthy secrets to light, or a sizable settlement to put the problem behind them. Expect turmoil over specifics, grandstanding over the law if it goes to court. The View may attempt to straighten up their act, but this won't go away easily because of Rogan's social media and viral artillery. His satire serves as a warning that this show is far from ended, not just a joke.
You watched the episode when Tulsi Gabbard got on to defend herself, and Joy Behar starts panicking and going over her notes while Tulsi is refuting everything that she said.
Yeah, I mean, Joy Behar, like, again, these people have dementia. These are people who, like, should not be allowed out of the house. They have a national platform. I mean, it is crazy. They have no idea. These people have never read, like, a book.
And there's versions of.
The View lawsuit is a complete mess in the media landscape of today, where podcasts go viral and tweets start arguments. Joe Rogan's witty humor demonstrates how parody can be a potent counterattack, while Charlie Kirk's $100 million lawsuit serves as a reminder that outrageous accusations have a cost. Millions of people are following and miming every action in this live soap opera, which is more than just a quarrel. The one with more money and wit wins this game, not the one with the loudest shout.